We pretend that airplanes in the night sky like shooting stars. I could really use a wish right now.
Alright then, here we are in sunny Sunderland for the airshow. We've ran for a slight hitch. We planned to go home at 5 o'clock, but Red Arrow's on after that. Yeah, so you're going to have to leave early. I'll fly got the money to get additional buses back, so I'm kind of knackered. So you're going to have to get video of Red Arrows. Yeah. On the plus side, I will get to see a battle of it. Yeah. Anyway, maybe a typhoon as well. Yeah. Anyway, this is the first time I've been here in 6 years. It's my third time here, and how many times is this for you, bro? Bro? How many times is this for you now? Third time. Alright. I think. I know I've been once before. Yes, it's the third time. It's the third time. Oh, anyway, yeah. Got the programme. Still flying the ball as well. Yeah. Anyway, it's packed. Beach is packed. The sun's out. Well, it's blue skies anyway. The sun is out. It's nice to see the sun out after all the bad weather we've had. Yeah. And the flight display doesn't actually start till 1:30. So yeah, so we didn't have to get here. So yeah, yeah, we've been up since about 6 o'clock this morning. Yeah, but anyway, it should be. Would you fancy going on that, bro? No, absolutely not.
Is a real highlight, but there are so many highlights this year with the Jubilee, the Queen's Visit. Oh, it's a fantastic, it's a mad world.
It is. BBC Newcastle have never stopped. The whole team is down here today. I've been mingling in and out mountains and in and out of the crowd, and I've noticed how many people are here visiting. Can I call you your worship? Can I call you?
Don't waste your time on jealousy.
Got our spot.
Sometimes you're ahead.
Sort of. Yeah, now we're just waiting for the airshow to start. It started with the tornadoes. Yeah, ended with the Red Arrows. Yes.
Remember compliments.
Everything's going to be good.
Forget the insults.
We'll do our best to get as much of it as we can. Yeah, we're not guaranteeing blockbuster style films here.
Don't feel guilty if you don't know what you want to do with your life. The most interesting people I know didn't know at 22 what they wanted to do with their lives. Some of the most interesting 40-year-olds I know still don't. Get plenty of counting. Be kind to these. You'll miss them when they're gone. Maybe you'll marry, maybe you won't. Maybe you'll have children, maybe you won't. Maybe you'll divorce at 40.
Radio contact with the Crown Forces call sign Widow and will now position the aircraft to provide cover and await further instructions. poker formation overfly the target area, the explosion was simulating a rocket-propelled grenade, narrowly missing the friendly forces vehicle, and the crew have immediately taken cover. Returns to the target area from front left to strike cover and to get the sensors looking into the threat area. Ladies and gentlemen, the tornado roll penalty. Burnley in Lancashire, and he at this time will be going in and doing a wave off and then going in for the crew. So the crew right now. And there they are, under canopy, all together. And I'll be able to put you on now to Neil Flanagan, and you'll be able to listen to him puffing a little bit after that free fall and getting the team together. This station 260 to the left. Turn left now. 1, 2. And that's Neil Flanagan talking to the team, just like the Red Arrows do, telling them left, right and so on. And they have to listen to him, they can't speak back. Just counting them down. Next turn is going to be 90 to the right into the circle. Now the parachutes are 220 square feet and they're made of a ripstop nylon. And that's if you've got any little hole in the canopy or a rip in the canopy, it would go no further. So now the flag, you can see, is out to one side, and that'll be landing here just a bit ahead of everyone else. Hey, split now. And they're going to turn left and right. They're going to split up the team, so half go in one direction and half in the other. Look at the control they've got over these parachutes. This is why, ladies and gentlemen, this team is regarded as the premier display team in the world today. And as I said, will go on to train as very specialist people that need to leave aircraft at extreme height. Putting on smoke, the next lot of smoke coming on down, so they simply lean down and they'll pull a cord which will release the smoke on their other ankle. Right, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to welcome Gary Nicholson here from Consett in County Durham. And he's coming in with the flag. Yes, from County Durham. Look at that, from 12,000 feet up, absolutely right on the button, carrying the Union flag. Give him a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. And look at that stack. I mean, with the wind conditions up there, absolutely perfect. Counting them round again. coming in much like an air farm, will go downwind, base leg, then in for their landing here on the beach. As I said, this our team coach is not jumping today, so Neil Flanagan, okay, would be number 2 in the stack, has taken charge and is leading the team in. So ladies and gentlemen, as they land here, I want you to put your hands together for the Royal Air Force Falcons.
Yeah.
The first to land is Sergeant Neil Flanagan from Burnley in Lancashire. Second is Sergeant James Bruce from Portsmouth in Hampshire. Sergeant Mark Clayton from Norwich in Norfolk. Sergeant John Parker from Gainsborough in Lincolnshire. Corporal Carl Harris from Sutton in Ashfield in Nottinghamshire. Sergeant Dave Bourboys from Sheringham in Norfolk. Corporal your draft tent is just in the northwest corner outside the arena and before you get to the big screen, so just north of the arena before you get to the big screen. Then it's all action through with the Matadors, the RAF Tucano, the Royal Navy Black Cats. At 3 o'clock, the Battle of Britain Memorial flight, followed by the Swift Twister Duo, the Hawker Hunter. At 3:30. Paul Bonham closest to us as the leader. Steve Jones as number 2, flying very close formation, looping the loop, then rolling as they fly down in a manoeuvre known as a half Cupid. Now just note how closely the 2 aircraft fly together. This team have actually won the prize at the last of the Biggin Hill Airshow for the best formation aerobatics. Now in line abreast, they've widened out a bit to loop the loop, and then watch at the top as the aircraft slides sideways with a great big boot full of rudder to head towards us and then roll down and fly away. Now, if any of you followed any of the Red Bull cruising speed of over 400 miles an hour, see how close they get. Passing canopy to canopy there, getting a bird's eye view into the other guy's cockpit. And then a succession of rolls at the far end. Now another head-on opposition pass. What will happen is Paul Bonham, the leader, will fly the line, and Steve Jones' job is just to make sure that he misses it. Beware of all these trees rushing past in my peripheral vision. So it's Steve we see now doing his solo aerobatic display, giving us a taste of the sort of manoeuvres flown at unlimited level competition aerobatics. There's that skidding manoeuvre again, which he turns into a tumble, a manoeuvre known as a lomchevak, which is the Czechoslovakian word for a drunken man. Some say it's called that because that's how you feel, as if you're drunk. Others say because the aircraft is tottering around like a drunken man. Now using the torque of that engine to keep the aircraft rolling in a torque roll, that's C-O-R-Q-U-E, not C-A-L-K, and he keeps going as he slides back into this smoke stream, going into influenced meteorological conditions and emerging safely at the other side. Now as Steve exits ahead of us, and from the right comes Paul Bonham, just showing us what amazing roll rate this aircraft has. Powered by a Lycoming engine, giving it a top speed of 210 knots and a roll rate of 450 degrees a second, which you can see being demonstrated very ably now. We've got almost perfect conditions, in fact I think I'd say perfect conditions today. Perhaps the wind will be a little bit less strong, but ideal. One of the issues in performing a display over the sea, unlike over an airfield where you've got a runway as a reference point, of this aircraft later on when Joel Cooper flies it. And there we are, that's a great picture, isn't it? Just showing us the plane, taking them away as they fly past. They can look out from the cockpit, Paul Bonham leading, Steve Jones coming up behind. The Red Bull Matadors. And ladies and gentlemen, here he comes, Spartan John Bond. Or Bondy, as he likes to be called. I'll go on to talk a little bit more about him later on throughout the display. And here you see him pulling up for a Canadian break to start his display. So whose idea was the colour scheme? Jane? Well, the display procedure started back in about October last year. Once the pilot was selected, then we sort of had to think about what theme we wanted. Each year we try to come up with a different theme for the display. We had a lot of ideas, main two being the Olympics or the Jubilee, but we thought the Jubilee to be the most fitting one for the year. So as you see in front of him, he's just pulling up for a couple of loops. He's going to be pulling around 4G as he's doing this, which is quite hard work, especially in the warmth of today. Does he have a G-suit? No, we don't fire the G-suit in this aircraft. It's a fixed step up onto the Hawk. Next time you'll be having G-pants. So all the G he's pulling, he's sort of straining to fight against that. And throughout the display, he's going to be pulling up to around 6G positively and about -3 negative G. So quite a lot of strain. Oh, I love that, the noddy stall turn. Yeah, it's a nice one to see, and it's our tribute to the Harrier, shall we say. No more bowing Harrier, so we attempt to bow in the Tucano. So Tucano actually means toucan, doesn't it? Not tin can, as I think it's sometimes disparagingly referred to as. It is often referred to as tin can, yeah. It's a Brazilian aircraft, come from the name Tucano, and then it was actually manufactured in Ireland. So it's been put together sort of in 2 locations. But it's been with us for around 23 years now. It's been a very reliable aircraft, and it's proved very successful in training pilots to eventually move on to the Hawk. So we've got some opposition manoeuvres here now, both climbing. They've almost come to a halt. A little humpty at the top there. Now that was a close pass.
It was. Black lead is flown by Lieutenant Dave Fleming. His observer is Lieutenant Chris Bowden. They are in 641, which is on our left at the moment. And Black 2, which is on our right, is 645. They're both 702 Squadron aircraft, the training squadron for the Royal Navy. And his observer is Lieutenant Ed Target.
Now that is close as well. They got 2 rotors on each separation. I can't believe that. Look closer than that to me.
Now they're doing a little dance, going backwards and forwards, showing you the capabilities of the aircraft. This requires both precision and the observer to provide exact numbers and figures, speed, to allow them to manoeuvre without flying.
We're really turning each other before sparring, isn't it? So what's the role of the links in the modern Royal Navy?
Maritime anti-piracy and anti-programming. We've got the Lynx Mark 3, which is dual, which allows the pilots to train each other, and then what you see in the air at the moment are Lynx Mark 8, which we use to train and on the front line. They can all for frigates, destroyers, and we've got 5 of them at the moment on 8 to bring Greenwich, just up the river.
Now that's a steep bunch there as well, isn't it? Of course the Lynx still holds the world record for the fastest helicopter.
It does.
I can't remember what the speed is, can you?
and give them the big wave as they go to the top. The next time you'll be able to see them is Weymouth for the Olympics, followed by the Dartmouth Regatta.
Well, very polite finish their guard. And I bow to the audience, turn smartly and fly away back whence they came. How was that? Spectacular or what? Lancaster, Hurricane and Spitfire, it's competition time. Which is which? Yes, I know the one in the middle is the Lancaster, but which is the Hurricane, which is the Spitfire? Chat amongst yourselves and I'll tell you when I've worked it out myself. So the Battle of Britain Memorial flight, and it's ironic that one of the key features of the flight is one of only 2 airworthy Lancasters in the world, the other one being in Canada. Of course, Lancaster didn't take part in the Battle of Britain, and when the flight was originally formed back in Biggin Hill, when it was just made up of fighters from the Battle of Britain, it was actually called the Historic Aircraft Flight, which I personally think would be a better name for it these days, but there we go. They're known as the BBMF wherever they display. And of course the flight is there to commemorate all those aircrew and ground crew who gave their lives during the Second World War. But perhaps this year, with all the focus on the Bomber Command Memorial that was recently unveiled in London's Green Park, the focus should be on the Lancaster. So let's listen to those 6 Merlin engines in formation. Watch out now as the fighters break away from the Lancaster and will give us their own demonstration before the Lancaster comes in to show us that great bomber at close range. The prototype's maiden flight took place on the 5th of March 1936, and the twin-bladed Mark I Spitfires entered RAF service with number 19 Squadron in August 1938. So ahead of its time was that original design that it not only helped to establish and maintain air superiority, which was so vital at this time of year in 1940 when the Battle of Britain was underway, particularly to lure the RAF into battle and to test the defences. Junkers 87 Stukas attacked the shipping with pinpoint accuracy. But by the 6th of August, the Luftwaffe adopted a new tactic to stop attacking the shipping and go for the RAF airfields and fighters. Hitler's plans were to invade Great Britain on the 15th of September, and on the 13th of August, Adlertag was declared. That's Eagle Day, when the Luftwaffe's plan was to destroy the RAF in 4 days. Goering told the Luftwaffe, "You'll wipe the RAF from the sky," but history proved that that wasn't to be the case. A squadron of 12 aircraft could scramble in 4 minutes and then climb very hard to height, height being the fighter pilot's ally. Often there wasn't time to climb to height before reaching the enemy squadrons, and so the attack would be put in from below. The Hurricane that we see in front of us could sustain more battle damage in many cases than the Spitfire, because with the aluminium construction of the Spitfire, a strike from a Messerschmitt 109 cannon could cause a great deal. Flown by Flight Lieutenants Tim Dunlop and Roger Nichols, with Alan Pepper as the navigator and Archie Moffat as the engineer. The Avro Lancaster, to give it its full name, is the most famous and successful RAF heavy bomber of World War II. A legend that lives on today and commemorates the contribution made by the aircraft and its crews to the freedom of our nation. Derived from the twin-engine Manchester, it has a crew of 7, and it's ironic to think, as I said, there are only 2 remaining airworthy examples of the approximately 7,500 that were built, but more than half of those were lost on active service. The aircraft was designed by Roy Chadwick, who also designed the Avro Anson and the Avro Vulcan. That's a real sight to stir the spirits and the senses. The Lancaster didn't carry the weight of the night bombing offensive against Nazi Germany on its own, but it was supported by other earlier twin-engine bombers. So, from our left now, the Lancaster, Hurricane and Spitfire of the Battle of Britain Memorial Flight. In the program on page 46. There we are, look at this. It looks wonderful from every angle, from the top, from underneath, from the side. Fantastic. So the Hawker Hunter, that was the RAF's mainstay fighter through the 1950s and 60s. First flew on the 20th of July 1951. Flew really well, had a very potent armament of 4 30mm cannon, as well as being able to carry a range of weapons on underwing hardpoints. It performed a range of duties in the service of no less than 19 air forces around the world. The aircraft at which is the aircraft equivalent of just being used to go for a car to be driven to church on a Sunday morning by a little old lady. In 1997, he was acquired by the company owned by the pilot displaying her today, Jonathan Whaley. That's Heritage Aviation Developments Limited. And she completed a restoration the following year. And the paint job was concluded in 1999. And she looked then just as you see her today. Some purists say that it's heresy to paint a classic British fighter in such a flamboyant colour scheme. They say it's a crime. Jonathan, the aircraft owner and pilot, says it's not a crime, but it may be a misdemeanour. Hence her name, a misdemeanour. Now, from the right, the display will start with the aircraft diving at 150 miles an hour for a formation loop. Smoke goes on. Pilots Dave Barrell and number 2, Martin Carrington. And as you can see, atop the wings are the Wingwalkers, Danielle Hughes and Claire Patterson. Imagine that, standing on top of the wings when hanging upside down at the top of the loop, a few hundred feet above the sea. Now you'll see during the display, the girls wave like anything, and they say it really inspires them to do more as they see you all waving as they fly past. And this really is a multifaceted display, because not only do we see formation flying, do we see formation aerobatics, but also the girls themselves will perform acrobatics on top of the wings. So make sure you're watching them on top of the wings as they swivel on their swiveling rig and perform handstands and lie sideways, all the while waving, all the while in a more than 100 miles an hour slipstream. Look, you can see the girls are actually upside down with one leg in the air, one pointing out ahead. I think most of us would struggle to do that on the ground, let alone on top of a wing moving at over 120 miles an hour. Craft in the military. She's on the lead aircraft with Dave Barrell, the pilot. And her favourite manoeuvre is the impressive cockpit lady, which we'll be coming to later on, where she stands on one leg in front of the pilot's windscreen, halfway between the cockpit and the wing, demonstrating amazing strength and balance. Now you can see the girls are lying horizontal, parallel to the wing. Now ain't that a pretty picture? So let's tell you about Freya Patterson in her first season as a wing walker. She saw the team display when at college studying performing arts. As a child she spent most of her time upside down practicing gymnastics and loved the whole idea of performing. She performed at Disneyland Paris, including dressing up as princesses and Winnie the Pooh for parade. Childhood helping out at flying clubs in exchange for lessons. Now watch as they fly in towards each other for an opposition pass, passing wingtip to wingtip. I'm sure the girls could see the whites of each other's eyes during that manoeuvre. Martin passed all his flight tests by the time he was 16 and then had to wait until he was 17 before he could fly solo. Now look closely, you can see the girls are actually sitting on the front of the wings. Look at that, they've moved down from their seats, so sitting on the front of the wings. We're still waving to us as they go. What a great shot that is, especially as they fly past the lighthouse. Wonderful. A carbon fibre aircraft which combines lightweight with the great strength necessary to withstand the extremes of high-G aerobatic manoeuvres. There's a very nice slow roll to start with, and then racking it up to over 450 degrees rate of roll per second. This gives us a taste of the sort of manoeuvres flown at unlimited towards us, pulling up and showing us the aircraft in plan view from the underside. You can hear that whistling over the gun ports once again. Now Peter exits to the... So, Peter Teichmann exits to the left. Now that's a good idea, having different colours on the Sioux aircraft so we can follow who's in which one. This is a home-built aircraft, so if you fancy one of these you can buy the kit. And there are more than 7,500 of these aircraft flying worldwide, making it the most popular kit-built aircraft ever made. Very fast and highly aerobatic, as you can see, being cleared to plus 6G. With a maximum speed of 230 miles an hour. Looping the loop all the way round. Are currently seeking sponsorship, so if you're interested in having your company's name emblazoned on these aircraft flown by these two highly professional pilots, please do contact them or check out their website. Contact details are on page 56 of the souvenir program.
Side by side in a traditional type of training aircraft so that the pilot, the instructor, can see exactly what the student's doing and offer him advice and guidance, or a slap on the knuckles, as we do occasionally.
I was going to say flip round the ear, but obviously I'm a bit behind the times. Yes. Excellent.
Sean himself started life as a techie, or an aircraft engineer, on Tornadoes, so he was fixing them all and decided it would be far more fun if he could break them by flying them. And he did his first tour, in fact, on the GR4 at Velocimount. From there, he then was chosen to become a flying instructor, went to Linton on Ouse to instruct on the Tucano, which you saw earlier on this afternoon. From there, he was very lucky in getting an exchange post to Australia, where he flew for Central Flying Squadron over in Australia before coming back to fly the tutor.
So what did he fly in Australia?
I can't remember the aircraft type, it was very similar to the Tutor, but also the DC-9, which is equivalent to our Tucano, and the F-18 Hornet.
Fantastic. Now I notice there's the big heart underneath the aircraft. Very popular as a business corporate aircraft because of its excellent range and low operating cost, and with its Typical display weight of 4.5 tons. The King Air's power to weight ratio is 378 horsepower per ton, which is more than most high-performance sports cars. Just like the Tucano, the aircraft is a turboprop, albeit with 2 turboprops. So a turboprop is simply a jet engine that drives the propeller for thrust. In now from the left, the very noisy RAF Falcons. A lot slower than we'd expect, but wait till he opens up the throttle. Quite an exit, quite a display. The team is led by Red 1 squadron leader Jim Turner. He's just called them into 7-arrow formation. The jets are now closing up to be about 8 feet apart as they form one big red arrow a mile above us in the sky. Jim Turner is a former Jaguar qualified weapons instructor and Jaguar display pilot. While it's his first year leading the team, he was a Red Arrow from 2005 to 2007 and was part of the synchro pair. That's Red 1 calling the team into shuttle formation. Those 4 aircraft on the wings now drop back to be a beam Red 6's jet directly behind the leader. While they're in this position further back, they still fly references from the lead jet and just trust that the aircraft only 8 feet away is in the correct place. From the right, this is the shuttle roll. Roll. On the far left of the formation as we look tail on is Red 5, squadron leader Martin Higgins. On the bottom of the formation there with white smoke is one of our first year pilots, that's Red 4, Flight Lieutenant James McMillan. McZ was born in the UK but moved to New Zealand at the age of 10 and eventually joined the Royal New Zealand Air Force. He transferred to the Royal Air Force in 2002 and became a Hawk flying instructor and Harrier GR9 pilot. With the smoke on now, the team are forming our largest formation shape. Those 4 aircraft on the wings are now dropping back to be a beam
Red 7's jet at the very back of the formation. Just remember, there's still flying references on Red 1's jet right at the front. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Concorde. Detonator.
That's to recovery. It is.
They pull up at 4G in a formation called Big 5. They're now twisting this loop through 90 degrees in a manoeuvre called a quarter clover. Get your cameras ready, ladies and gentlemen. This is the vertical brake. Synchro once again, slingshot out to the front. Look to your right, 45 degrees for Enid. In battle formation again with some red, white and blue, this is the Python.
Holding back. Now, easy.
You can see the smoke has changed white, and we've reduced that smoke by injecting regular diesel fuel into the aircraft's 400 degree engine exhaust, which causes it to vaporize. Brake. And we are the Royal Air Force aerobatic team, the Red Arrows. Our display is not just about the Red Arrows, it represents the speed, agility and precision of the entire Royal Air Force, and I hope we've demonstrated that this afternoon. It's an honour to represent our service and our country, and it's been a true delight to execute.
Well, that's it. The Sunderland Airshow 2012 is done. And did you enjoy it, bro?
Very much.
God,
Yeah.
we did.
I was particularly happy to see the Battle of Britain fly, because the last time I came here, it was cancelled.
Ah, that's right.
Good.
We got joined by Jordan, yes. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah.
It's a shame we didn't get to see most of it. You should have said you wanted to go.
Anyway, well, hope you enjoyed watching this as much as we did. So, from me, Chris and Jody of the Airshow, peace out.
This is Applian 1-2 and W1. Sayonara.
And Flyer 1, sayonara.
It's in that airplane from the night sky like shooting stars. I can really use a wish right now, wish right now.